Hey everyone, Dan here. Before we get into it, if you enjoy these videos, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. And also keep in mind that these are my own thoughts, opinions, and ideas. These are not meant to be, nor should you take them as investment or trading advice in any way, shape, or form. Do your own due diligence, put in the work for yourself, and make your decisions based on that. Enjoy. All right, here we are about 15 minutes before market close on Wednesday, September 8th. I just locked in my swing trade buys for the day and I wanted to share those. I have 5 buys today and you'll see the first 3 are these more momentum plays. I've had some luck recently with those, but this is still in a test phase for me. So you've seen me roll out my other plays with sort of the criteria that we'll see when we get to the last 2 tickers of the day. But I want to try to introduce this strategy with the momentum stocks to see if there's something there that I can also leverage. If not, and that's not working, then I'll just go back to what was working. That said, I'm taking a small portion of my overall trades and trying out this momentum trading strategy. I'm taking probably 5 to 10% of all of my trades and putting it in those tickers. And if it, like I said, if it doesn't work, I'm not going to beat it to death. I'll just go back and do 100% of what's working until I want to try something else that's new, and I'll take a small portion of my trades and do that. So that's just a little context before we jump in. So the first one here, the first 3 are these momentum plays. BLUW, the first one. Now obviously this has had this huge sell-off here. This is on the daily, and it's starting to curl back now. And up and prior to this, it was just flat, 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 flat. Testing the 20 and the 50 MA, it kicked off of both of those today. So the first attempt, it's not uncommon to see it have a failed attempt at breaching those MAs. So I'm interested to see if there's more gas left in the tank. It's hard to come into a stock that's up double digits in a day, but I also saw the bearish momentum dying down in the MACD. Potentially a bullish crossover coming. Huge uptick in volume. Overall, since this sell-off happened, it has sustained really solid volume compared to its previous volume of, I mean, these were very, very low volume. And then we jumped up to almost 13 million, and then 3.7 million, and then just under a million, half a million, and then the green started. 845K, 770K, 338K, 961K, and now today almost 13 million again, and that coming in buy volume. So like I said, we'll see if there's more here, but I'm sort of playing the big uptick in volume, the potential for establishing over the MAs, which could help carry it higher, and this bearish momentum dying down along with a potential for a bullish crossover. ATER also similarly risky. Now we are extending here even further on the MACD. That said, the MACD is still sitting, just at about the baseline at the moment, just still slightly below. But it's done a really good job for several days holding over this 20 MA, and now it's made its first attempt to touch the 50, and obviously is pushed back from that quite a bit. Again, hard to buy in on a day when a stock is up this much, but I'm wanting to see if this increase in buying volume over the last few days, or for a majority of the last few days, can continue. And if not, there's obviously the 50 MA will prevent this from moving any higher, and if that's the case and this MACD starts to curl down or sort of level off and lose its bullish momentum, then I'll take that as a clear sign to cut losses at that point. But risky play, but we'll see what happens. KPLT, I was in and out of once already. What I'm looking for to do here, if you didn't see my other video, is to fill this gap. So there's this big gap here on the daily, and it came up and finally got itself into the gap, and now today tested the bottom of the gap. And if we see, it popped out here briefly earlier on in the day. Here, let me get you a better view. Briefly popped out and then got itself back in and has sustained, holding in this gap for the time being. So I'm hoping that that means that it still wants to come up and fill this gap. I don't know, but it's the first real test of the bottom of the gap since it established in there. The other thing is MACD continuing to extend pretty solidly, and from this candle to this candle we have a lower low that was yesterday to today, but the MACD line continuing to move higher. So we do have a bullish divergence there. Now that's certainly not 100% of the time thing, and it's much more consistent if you're in an overall bullish trend, meaning if you're above this red 200 MA. So being that we're underneath it may not be as solid of a signal, but I thought it was worth the risk for the time being. Like I said, risking a fraction of all of my trades in these first three to see if there's a way that I can decipher the code on some of these momentum plays, if there's anything to be had outside of intraday, right? A lot of folks are taking these as intraday trades, and holding them overnight, certainly risky. SLGC, so this is more along the lines of what you would have normally seen. So it's trying to establish right now over the 20 MA. It is doing this weird little wavy MACD thing, but the momentum is holding just fine, and it's in line with the momentum that we saw back here. We do see volume having picked up in the last several days, and so I'm hoping that that increase in volume plus the MACD is starting to get some real estate between itself and the signal line, and establishing over this 20 MA could be the right confluence of events to get a nice lift here. We'll see. PagerDuty trying to buy this on a dip. Now, obviously my hope is that it's not going to come down and fill this entire gap. This would bring this down about $1.50 more. If it does, my thought for the time being is if it fills this gap and shows some price strength right around 44.75 or so, I would average down, take a larger than normal position, and try to come in that way. And if it doesn't, then that would be a clear stop loss scenario. So risking a bit more than I would like, but the thing that I see on the positive side of things are this lower low from yesterday. Well, I guess from here actually, there's lower lows here with the MACD continuing to move up, and then the same thing happened yesterday to today. So we have bullish divergence times 2. So 2 days in a row, bullish divergence occurring from the price action to the MACD. And this one is in an overall uptrend. Also, slight though this is at the moment and sort of lackadaisical looking, the 20 MA is just crossing over the 50 MA. So and the 200 is in really tight. So these, if we get a couple of green days here, this could definitely have several bullish crossovers on the MAs that would then complement, the MACD extending its bullish momentum and getting some lift on the price action. So we'll see if that happens. If not, then so it goes. We're not looking to win every single trade every single time, of course. But yeah, that's what I jumped into today. I know it was a little bit of a rough day in the markets. I do have a couple of videos out there. One's called What to Trade When the Market is Crashing. It doesn't have to be literally when the market is crashing, but just on days where it seems like challengingly red, some stocks that you could trade to try to keep yourself green, or at least make the best of a red day if you don't want to just like sit on the sidelines and or dip buy. And then the other one is something about like growth stocks selling off. I'll try to link them at the top here if I get a chance, but you could check those out if you're sort of at a loss of what to do on red days other than just panic sell. Take a look at those and see what you think. All right, well, I hope that your hump day was on. It's already hump day because Monday we were off. So I guess at this point we're looking to finish the week strong, right? Crazy. All right, folks. Well, in any case, I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next video.